Mother, what was it like marrying into a famous family and all of a sudden being in the spotlight?
How do you even answer that? I mean, like Travis said, I grew up on a farm and was very, and he asked me to marry him. I thought, no, this is not to be. I'm supposed to be a farmer's wife and milk cows the rest of my life, you know? So I didn't, what was the question?
What was it like being thrown in the spotlight, Mother?
Okay. It was really an effort. I think we were married, we did that stunt in at Caesar's Palace. Then was that trip, that famous trip to London when there were 10,000 of you on Heathrow. It's my first trip to, were you there? My first trip to England, and I looked down and it looked like Heathrow was crawling with ants. And what's sad is when I graduated from BYU, I cried that day because I thought, I'll never be able to leave Utah. I'm stuck here the rest of my life. I'm going to be a farmer's wife. Little did I know this guy came along 2 weeks after I graduated, and we were married 2 months later, and we were seeing the world, and I loved it. I always wanted to travel, and so it's been.
I think I married that fast.
It's been great.
They're still
You know,
together.
people ask me,
That's
what's it
too.
like, especially what was it like? I mean, I don't know. I've never been married to anyone else. You know, this has been my married life. So,
Mary, she does not like the spotlight by any means. So they have her agency.
I'm always backstage, or I'm sitting on a guitar case on the side as they pass the band. I'm never out in the audience, so this is hard for me.
Thank you, Mary.
She's a good lady.
Kids, what are you most excited about for your dad's retirement? I'm going to start. Is that okay? So when COVID hit, I never thought my dad would actually ever be able to slow down. I didn't think it was possible that it was in him. But when COVID hit, I saw a completely different dad. And I realized for the first time that he actually might be able to slow down. And as things started to open up again, and I had some kids' ball games going on again and things like that, and he got to come to them, that was so fun for me. And that's continued, you know, because he hasn't been able to get back like he had planned, but it has allowed him to start coming to some of these things with my kids. But I want to tell you one thing that happened last week. Shoot. It was my son's junior prom last week. And my father, he was not able to be at my junior prom. And it's something that he has always regretted. I've been fine, because guess who I had to dance with me at junior prom? I had 3 of my 4 brothers, and I was well taken care of, and I never blamed my father for not being at my junior prom. But my father was able to come to my son's junior prom. And I went down to do the mother and son dance, and it was wonderful. And they had another dance that you could dance with anybody you wanted. And my dad came walking down from the stands and grabbed me, and he says, it's time for our father-daughter junior prom dance.
Aww.
So I got my junior prom dance 22 years later. And those kind of things that I'm so looking forward to. It's those experiences that I'm going to get to have him and my mother, because she's gone a lot with my father too, at my kids' stuff and being able to share. My kids tried to teach him how to play the Xbox. He's not very good at it, but he'll get better. He's been able to teach my son to play the bass.
I can't play video
And
games.
those are experiences that I just am so excited about.
Aw.
I'll go next. Just add what my sister has said. First of all, I want to make it to correct a comment I made earlier. The coat of many colors does not belong to me. I think we can all agree it belongs to our younger brother, Troy. very good. I'm so sad to have Dad home too, like everybody else. My father's always taught me to seek the simple thing in life. He's lived a crazy life. Something that most people will never, take away he has done. But I'll always remember, like I said, he was never home very much. And I was running track at high school once, and for once I wanted to always just show my dad, I was a good runner. And I remember I was just about to start the run, and I looked over to the stand, and there my dad was. He stood out with his white hair. I mean, he just stands out everywhere he goes. It made me so excited. And I'll never forget, I was doing a 2-mile run. And I was in the lead. I just wanted to make my dad proud. The one time he was home, I could show my dad. And I was in the lead for the first mile. And after the first mile, I got left behind, and I finished last place. But I'll never forget, I lowered my head, and I saw my dad coming up towards me with the biggest smile on his face. He told me how proud he was of me. And he took me out to a milkshake, and we celebrated, had a great time. But that's just who my dad is. He is the most non-judgmental person ever made. He really pure love of Christ. He always has so much to give. And just so glad to have him home. And so he can see my little our kids and whatnot. But anyway, just so glad to have him home, Dad. Just seek the simple things in life and to be humble, stay humble. And yet, all things he's experienced, yet he put God first. He put his family first. And that's a pretty good balance to your attitude.
Amen.
So, thank you, Dad.
I guess I'll go next. So, I hope you all know how much we love our parents. I truly believe we have the best parents ever. I know I've talked to many of you before this, and he wasn't there to a lot of the things, but he was there for the things that counted. And I feel bad. I feel like I should give you a junior prom dance too, Heather, since I was the brother that was gone. I was on my mission. But not only am I so excited for my kids are ecstatic that they're going to have grandpa home. And you're already seeing it. He's coming down and spending time with us, which we never were able to do beforehand. Many of us are going to be grandparents here. We're not encouraging that, right? But it's going to happen. We're going to be grandparents pretty soon, so he's going to be a great grandpa. He wants to be able to spend time, and when you're 29, you have kids older than you, mother. But I'll just share an experience too. It was about a month ago. Like I said, I'm a sales rep for Starkey Hearing, and my territory is Nevada and Arizona, and so it's nice because with Arizona I can drive down, and it's a very simple drive. But I think it was on a Sunday night. I just was about ready to get in the car Monday morning and drive down, and I just thought, how fun would it be if I just was able to spend the week with my father? So I called him up on Sunday night and says, I'll be there around 4 in the morning and we'll just take off. So I was able to spend a week with my dad just driving around Arizona, and we had the best time. It was just, I can't say we've ever done anything like that before. I mean, and because I am his favorite child. So just things like that we're going to be able to do now, where beforehand we never were able to do. He was always gone. We always go to an event every Christmas this was the last Christmas that you were ever really home in December. So we were able to do stuff in December that we've never been able to do with him before, and just the memories that my kids are going to have with him, not only our kids, but our grandkids and myself. So we are truly grateful for all of you for taking care of him while he's been traveling around, but we are excited to have him home. We really are.
So, sorry, I'm a crybaby. Once I start, I can't stop. So it's just going to keep coming. Thank you. So, with my my father finally came home, my kid's dad failed them in every way possible. And my father pulled me aside and he goes, I want to be there to show your kids what a dad truly is there for, and to be that person in their lives, because they don't have that. They haven't been able, they've just been stuck with mom. And so he's there, coming home. He gets to be the dad that my kids never had, that I can show them this is what a true dad is supposed to be like.
How many of you grew up without a dad? I would just be curious to know. There's so many interesting dynamics being the oldest. When I was young, we spent a lot of time with Father, but it was in a tour bus or it was in a motel room. But as we started getting older, I was the one son that really needed a dad. And he wasn't there. It wasn't in the cards. But I feel like God placed dads there for me. There were 3 or 4 gentlemen that I know were sent because of prayers to keep me in line, to take me fishing and to take me hunting, things that my dad was not able to do. And as I look back in life, I really feel like Heavenly Father put those people in there and allowed me to understand what a father should do. Anyway, those are things my shrink is helping me understand. I have these awesome crazy pills, and they keep me just level out. Because one thing that one thing that as a dad, I want my kids to understand is how a man is supposed to treat a lady. And I want them to never see, because I love their mother so much, and I know my father loved my mother so much. And what that did for us as children is just tie us so tight together because of that love. And when he was home, he was Father. He would get his spankings over with, because that was the only way my mother could keep order in the house. I'm not lying when I say on the refrigerator, there was Travis, Justin, Shane, Heather, Troy, and Sheila. And if you had a check mark by your name, that was you got spanked when Father got home. Might have been a week, it might have been a month from now, but if there was still a check mark by your name, poor Father, he comes walking in after a month and a half on the road, and he's like, oh crap, I gotta spank Travis 15 times? I'm not lying. That's how it was. But we were able to do nice things to get check marks erased. So the week before Father got home, I was a freaking angel. I was making dinner, I was making the beds, whatever I had to do to get my check marks off my name. I just feel like there was so much love and admiration and respect that I learned from my father that I feel like I can pass on to my kids. And I hope my kids feel the same way about my dad, or I hope my kids feel the same way about me that I feel about my dad.
He wants me to tell you how smart I am. Yeah, the spanking thing, he wants me to, that's true. And that's when I say I softened Father up, because I think when I came along as the first daughter, he had a really hard time spanking me. But I was the very smartest one of my brothers. I figured out how to skirt around the issue. I wore 2 diapers when it was my turn to be spanked. 12 years old, no. He figured it out pretty quick. I wasn't that smart, but
Don't ever make that a planned program in your life. It's the wrong thing to do. Mary, it's the wrong thing to do. But yeah, that's still wrong. Anyway, so I come home this one night there Travis says, list one long, and I just want to be able to hug the kids. Mary says, well, here's the list.
My mother, bless her heart, she tried to reprimand us. Like, I remember coming home from football practice and I did something, and she whips me. And it didn't even hurt. And that just made her more mad. So I got 2 more check marks.
But I gotta say though, he hated it. He would give us our little spankings, and then he'd give us the biggest bear hugs, and we'd go do something fun. He hated it. He hated it. But I think we turned out okay.
Yeah.
I think tough love. I think that's what it was. It was tough love. He reproved us, when we deserved it. But he always showed forth that inclusive love afterwards. Always. It's always a good balance. And I think Shane, you and I can agree that when something went wrong, we always blamed our brother Travis. He's the firstborn, right? He gets to be the accountable one, the responsible one. So sorry, Travis.
Well, there was a lot of truth to that, Jess. So if anything went wrong, my father would always look to me. Well, why did Justin do that? And so I know this is a really hard dynamic. But it's hard to explain. But I was actually looked at to be the dad while my father was gone. And so I almost fell into this role that I did not like, and I still don't like it. I find myself rolling into it even now that I'm the dad and I have to keep Justin and Shane and Heather and Troy and she's in line, and I don't like it. I've never liked it.
We don't like it either.
Amen. I did not like it at all. But it's true, when something went wrong, I remember we were out fishing one time. Remember that, Father? Yeah. Something happened and I didn't get him home in time. It wasn't my fault. It was probably Shane's fault. But I got more to get us back. Anyway, you see what I mean?
No. Can I say one thing really quick? So again, we love our parents, right? I would say yes, we did get our spankings, but I would say more than anything, the thing that gave me the most pain, my dad has a look. He can give us a look, and knowing that he was disappointed in me was much worse than the spanking.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the look, Father. No, that's not it. It's like, it's weird, it's hard to do on you, but he does have a look. If he doesn't, we know we're in trouble, and we shape up really, really quick. So.
He still does that look.
He's never done it to me lately.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
You're hearing the nitty gritty here, fellas. You're hearing the nitty gritty.
You're being real.
What?
You're being real.
Yeah, being real.
It's great.
There's nothing funny. Yeah.
Being in the generation where you got spanked by your, they don't do that nowadays, and that's why there's a lot of things that happen in families
I
now.
think everybody knows that too.
Mhm.
I don't think that's even the question. I think people know what's happened to our.
So we don't think of you guys as being, oh, you're terrible parents, you're spanking your children.
Yeah, as a
We were not
generation.
abused.
No, I'm sure you weren't.
Yeah.
Travis deserved it.
Well, I also was the oldest, Travis, and apparently I was very fidgety and I got spanked more because I would fight to get spanked. My dad would spank me and I'm like, no, stop it. So,
Anyway, yeah. What's that? Yeah, Justin?
I have your book, your parenting book, and I just wanted to say it was the most beautiful book I ever read.
aw.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We talk about your little heart. Thank you. I'll just add to that. The book, if you haven't read it, it was all about my life, how what it was like growing up in a family, not being able to hear, feeling disconnected from life, not being able to feel separated, so many people feel like that. But through the help and love of a wonderful family, I was reconnected with life and things like that. But thank you. I appreciate your time.
And what you wrote about
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Do you have any questions?
There's
Do any of your kids plan to continue on musically?
How could that even be possible, to be honest with you? I mean, I can't speak for Justin or Shane or anybody else, but that would be impossible. Hi, I'm Travis Osmond. I mean, really, I would have no desire to compete against what the family has done. But what I think what we feel is, what can we do? What can Travis do in his little part of Wyoming to help people the way that my father and grandpa and uncles and aunt would? What can I do? And so I think of that non-stop every day. I can't perform, nor would I want to. I could never reach that pinnacle and help people, because in the industry that we live in today, it is not about helping people. It's about greed, it's about money, it's filth, it's sickening. And I don't want that. I don't want that in my life. I don't want it with my kids. And so I think the only way that you could do that and make something so good and so pure, you would have to have siblings by your side, and a good father and mother to keep you in the path. There's just no way. It'd be horrible. I think to even, I just cringe to even think about what that would look like. So, no, I have no idea. You really thought about that? My agent told me that
and I would just say, like Travis said, I don't think any of us would have that desire. I personally don't have the talent that my uncles and my father had. We all have some ability. I got stuck with the violin out of the quartet. So we play string instruments, but I would say, out of all of us up here, if you have never heard my sister Heather sing,
Oh, yeah.
she has an amazing voice.
Here's the thing.